What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at Crystal and Lockjaw. So let's see what we've got going on. Let's check it out. As promised, today we'll be taking a look at Crystal and Lockjaw. Let's see what we've got going on. Taking a look at the package, we get a nice image of Lockjaw and Crystal over here. You've got the Inhumans logo, Marvel Legends. It's a great looking package, albeit windowless, but still a nice looking box we've got going on here. Logo at the top, flip it to the side. There's a nice image of Crystal. Flip it to the back. Some good product shots here, promo images. We've got Marvel's Crystal and Lockjaw. Princess of the Inhuman royal family, Crystal uses her ability to control elements alongside her loyal protector, Lockjaw. So that's cool. We've got important information down at the bottom. Flip it to this side. There's a good boy. Let's get him out of the box. Fresh out of the box, this Lockjaw is impressive, man. I knew he was going to be big. He's bigger than I thought he was going to be. He looks great. I had to switch out the legs, the hind legs that come in on the Lockjaw figure just to get them on the turntable here, but I'll go through everything, of course. I am just immediately impressed by this Lockjaw figure, though. I get it. If you have the Mezco one, you don't even need to mess with this. That one is far superior, and as it should be. But this has been worth the wait to get in Marvel Legends. Let's take a closer look. Of course, in the 2-pack, we also get Crystal, so I like the cohesiveness here in this 2-pack. 2 Inhumans characters, building out that Inhumans team like that. We get some new effect pieces. We've got some extra hands. You've got an extra head. So we've got some things to like. I do not feel like this is a hostage 2-pack, if you will, right? Do people probably want Lockjaw more than Crystal? Maybe, but why do you want Lockjaw if you're not building out the Inhumans? I don't know. So for me, this is good. I like the pack. Let's look at Crystal here. Moving in closer, Crystal looks like Dee from It's Always Sunny. I don't know. I'm getting that vibe. But anyway, it's a great looking face sculpt. We've got some good design here in the hair. Would have loved to see some wash in the hair, right? That always elevates it. But we do get the design painted in there, at least a basic figure, right? This is not a figure that you're going to be, writing home to. It's not one that's going to be heavily lauded, but it's a hole in the display and a figure that at least I've been waiting for, and a lot of people have. So like it on that alone. She'll look down only a little bit. The front of the hair is definitely going to limit your articulation for the head, and then you're definitely not getting anything going backwards. You do get some rock side to side, a little bit of range there, but nothing heavy. Arms do rotate around. Arms go up and out to about there. Upper bicep cut and double jointed pinless at the elbow. Nothing at the forearm. Hinge at the wrist. Upper diaphragm. No lower ab cut, right? So you'd like to get that in there just to give you a little bit of something. Leg will kick up and out to there, back only to about there, and then out to about there. Upper thigh cut, double jointed pinless at the knee, nothing at the boot, and then hinge and swivel at the ankle. For your hands, you do get your open hands. We've seen this one a million times, right? You'd like to get some newer hands mixed into these female characters, but I don't know, that's just me. And then you do get a set of fists to go along. You do get an alternate head sculpt, which is nice. I always love getting options there. Although both expressions are fairly neutral, so maybe getting something a little more expressive as your alternate option would be good, but I like both of these. I don't know which one I'm going to go with here. I think I maybe will go with this one. Kind of like the hair swaying there. Each of your effect pieces do have a ring there, so they will pop on in between the hand and the wrist. So I like that because it secures them in there, and that makes it look pretty good, and I don't have to worry about them falling all over the place. And then we get Lockjaw, which he's got some really good heft to him. Feels really good, feels nice. Good amount of detail. I like the way that he's come out. I like the leg options, right? There's question why these aren't better articulated legs, but I kind of like the swappable option. He's going to be pretty static in my display, so I don't necessarily need a ton of articulation for Lockjaw specifically, but I do think you still want to see those sort of elbow joints like we got on Zabu, right? So we know that it's certainly possible for the animal sculpts, but I can compromise on alternate legs, right? So no harm, no foul for me. Face sculpt looks really good. I mean, there's like life in these eyes. It is interesting and weird at the same time, but I love it. Looks really good. Everything here looks pretty damn good. Even the tongue has some articulation. Why not, right? Tail articulates, so you get some good things out of this figure. We've got the face plates that pop out and swap out instead of alternate heads. For this, I like it. I don't need an extra head. It would just be this big thing that takes up a lot of space. All right, let's take a look at the articulation and some of those alternate parts. His head will go up to about there. You get a pretty good amount of upward range on that head sculpt. You're not going down any further. You do get some side to side movement, so it'll slide around side to side. Looks pretty good, and gets you plenty of movement all the way around. So likely a dumbbell under there. Plenty of that side to side movement. So I like the range that the head gets. The legs will move up and around, so you can get those all the way. Nothing else though until you get down to the paws, and then you do have that hinge and swivel down at the paw there. On the alternate back legs, you're not going to get any paw movement. They do have paw movement on the upward legs though. You get some, up and down. He's got some fleas or whatever that scratch that. You can get that leg all the way around. It'll go out a little bit, so you can move it in different directions depending on how you're going to be displaying Lockjaw there. As I said, the tail does move, so you do have a hinge on the tail there, and you can wag it side to side. To remove the faceplate, you can just pull from the top there, and then it'll start to pop out. You can see there your ports on each end. Looks super creepy without the face. And then if you want to place the alternate one on, that will just port in like that. Pretty easy swap. You do get a little bit of gap in there. I would like that to be cleaner, but it's not a huge issue when you're looking from head on. So that's going to be a minor preference thing, right? You can see with the swapped legs, again, those move around. You get the same range of motion as the front legs. You can get all the way around, and you do have your hinge and swivel on your paws down there. So depending on how you're going to pose them, you want them upright or you want them seated. I like the options, right? It is a decent alternative to more articulated legs. I don't know that if the hind legs were articulated that you would be able to get into that seated pose anyway. So I'm okay with the leg options here. For comparison, I do have the Lockjaw that was in that collector's vault set from a few years back. That one was in 3 3/4 inch scale, but for Legends, that offered the only Lockjaw, as opposed to paying up for like the Mezco one, right? And then here he is with Black Bolt and Medusa, so we can see how he looks amongst some of our other Inhumans here. And of course Karnak and now Crystal. So get a good look of what we have so far for at least what's going in my display. And then here's Crystal with some members of the Inhumans, the ones that are going to be in the display on my shelf, and I imagine many others. So you can get a good look here. I like the sort of color variations that we've got going on. Of course, there are complaints to be made about some of these figures. Some could use some updates. And that's where we are. So that's the issue with taking so long to get these teams together, right? So by the time we start to get towards the end, we need to start over. But I think for now, I'll hold down with this Bucky cap and some older molds, and I'll be okay. Alright, folks, well, there you have it. There is your Inhumans 2-pack featuring Crystal and Lockjaw. Lockjaw is awesome. Love it. I am very happy with the outcome here and very much looking forward to getting him on the shelf. Crystal, a basic figure, but one that needed to be added to fill a gap, so I don't really have any problems with that. I don't know that I need Crystal to be super deluxe, so I think the choices were good on these. It's a fine 2-pack for sure. Love the cohesiveness in this 2-pack, so I got no complaints there. All in all, really nice pack, and if you are looking at building out an Inhumans display, I'd certainly recommend getting it. This is one that I am thoroughly enjoying, and two characters that we haven't previously had in the scale for Marvel Legends. So, I call that a win. I'm happy, folks. That's my 2 cents. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully you got something out of it. I appreciate you for staying this long if you have. Of course, you can always find me on any of these socials down here. Most importantly, though, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe below. And until next time, take it easy.